Hello and welcome. I am Exolite, and this is my podcast. And I'm here with Rob, my co host. Hello, Rob.
Hi Tracy, how are you today? Or this evening, I should say.
I'm good, and we're back. We're back. We got the group back together.
Yeah, we're
It's been a long
doing
time.
a tour. We're on a tour
Yeah, we're on the tour.
of the
Yeah.
US.
It's scary to do that. But anyway, um, so anything you want to talk about to update people about you, or are
Yeah,
you okay?
just to all the people that know, that know me and Tracy. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Um, Looking forward to doing this again. It's been a long time in the making, but we've finally figured it out. So really looking forward to being part of the Exit Light world again.
Yeah, technology screwed us. So we eventually won with the help of my daughter, Maya. Thank you, Maya. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for coming, and please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Most people who watch my channel do not subscribe, which is true to every YouTube channel. But please do subscribe. It means the world to me. And go ahead and leave comments, and we'll have conversations. And this podcast is going to be shorter than usual because we're on time limit with the Zoom. We're on a little bit of time limit, so we can't go on forever. So it's your lucky day. I can't talk about serial killers and truck drivers, although we could if we wanted to. Anyway, what do you want to talk about, Rob?
Well, funny you should ask. I am very interested to hear about a recent trip you went on to a certain hotel, famous
Um,
hotel.
yes.
I'd like to hear about your spooky goings on at that.
Okay. Okay. So I have to say that, Rob, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Okay. I have to say that other than the Denver airport, which was as I've already done a video that um, talked about me going to the Denver airport and how disappointed I was. I literally, my eyes welled up when I found out that the art was put away. P.S. Somebody left a comment on that video and said I talk too long, or one of my videos says I talk too much. So this is all about talking right now. You might not like it. Just passive aggressive. That's all. Um, so my so I, we went to two more places. So we went to the Stanley, and we went to another place that I have an upcoming video about, and I hope that everybody watches it because it's really important to me, this particular video. But I was so excited to go to the Stanley. First off, I completely forgot that the Stanley was in Colorado. And I just Googled haunted hotels. And because we were like, what are we going to go do? Because, you know, who we didn't plan. The only thing we planned was the airport. So when I saw the Stanley was there, I was like, oh my God, have to do that. So my son and his wife, they spent their honeymoon there, which could explain the hauntings. But anyway,
I
uh,
didn't know that, Trace. I never realised that.
oh really?
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
realised that they stayed there.
Mm-hmm. They did.
Kept that you kept that quiet.
Yeah. Sorry. 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 I for one time my whole life I kept something quiet. Yeah, that's where they spent their honeymoon.
Oh wow.
So he had told me that they had gone on a ghost tour and that he hadn't really seen anything. He thought he caught something on film. But he kind of told me what he felt at the hotel. And so I I didn't know what to expect. And so they have three tours a day, and they start at 5 o'clock, 6:30 and 8 or something like that. But we went to the early one because we had to get back. But it doesn't matter. But there was several people there, probably about 20 people, and our guy's name was Tim, and Tim looked like he walked straight out of the 1980s, and he had lived the life. And
Poor Tim.
poor Tim. Perfect for a guy, though. Perfect. He kind of looked like Freddy Krueger looks like what the real Freddy Krueger, like the real guy who plays Freddy Krueger.
So basically, Robert Utaylor looked like Robert England.
Yes, but with long hair.
So you should have just said to him when you finish the tour, "Your tour's absolutely brilliant, my friend. Tim, brilliant, but you look like shit."
Maybe you could up the game a little bit. I don't know. Comb your hair. I don't want to be judgmental. Shave, whatever. Look a little less cracked out.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said his name. Anyway, so we meet in this little room, and they take us from that room to the concert hall. The concert hall was built specifically for the brother's wife, who played piano. She loved to play piano. Her dream was to play piano in a concert hall, and they she wasn't allowed to because at the time women weren't allowed to do that. Which is strange because even in Elizabethan times, the women would play at the piano. It was the pianoforte. But so he made her a scaled down version of, and I think it's Carnegie Hall that
Okay.
he made her a scaled down version of.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, very famous. So he brings us in there, and he talks about how he's going to show us, how some pictures, some photos that tour people have shown him and given him. And he points out this mirror that it's an infinity mirror. So it's apparently, and I didn't know this, you guys can tell me about it down below if you do know this. It's this mirror is super famous. And he said all the ghost hunters and stuff that come there, the first thing they want to do is see this mirror. And if you stand in front of this mirror, there's a mirror behind it. So that's why it's called infinity mirror, because it goes on and on and on and on. It was dark. They intentionally keep it dark. My husband said to me, "Are there no effing lights here? Can we not turn on a light? Because it's dark there. It's still a little bit daylight out. I think the time changed the next weekend. So he's like, just take as many pictures as you can so you can see if you can catch something. Then he has us leave that room and go down this dark hall. I mean, it's pitch black, except for a red exit sign, but it's pitch black. And he says, you'll find the room on the left, go into the room on the left, take photos, tell me if you feel anything, tell me what you see. And then across that is another room. And that was, I believe, Paul's room. And I want to say the other room is Lucy's room. Sorry, guys. It's been a minute. And my memory ain't what it used to be. So we go into Lucy's room and we're taking pictures. It is so pitch black that we're bumping into each other. We can't see in front of our faces. And my phone won't work. My camera, of course. It just kept spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And then it would have some blurred out version of what was supposed to be a photo. And I said to my husband, hey, my phone, I can't get my phone to work. So I need you to take as many pictures as you can. And I literally did whine like that. Like that. So that was Lucy's room. And then we went across the hall to Paul's room. Paul worked on the property for many, 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 many years. And he lived down there in Paul's room. And he died shoveling snow out in front of the building when snow and ice fell on him caused, he didn't get crushed or anything, caused him to have a heart attack. He died before he got to the hospital. But they think that Paul's in there. Paul used to smoke a little something, something, and drink. So there's a shelf. I don't know. It's the top of a wall. It's a shelf thing. So people bring in like different kinds of smoking things and just weird things, bottle caps, ashtrays, just as a like memorial to him. So by the time you get into Paul's room, I'm still going, I can't get my phone to work. And then everybody's like, my phone's not working. I can't get my camera. My camera's not working. I can't get pictures. My camera's not working. And before we had started the tour, he said if there is activity, a lot of times it'll be simply the fact that your phone won't work. And so we're all like complaining like school children that how are we supposed to know if there's a ghost if we can't take a photo, you know? So I didn't feel anything weird in there. Famous artists, music artists have played there. Robert Plant's played there.
Right.
A whole. There's so many that are so in modern, modern times. They had a mosh pit band there just the night before, and you can tell because it smelled like it.
That must be really interesting for the audience because it must be quite an enclosed and quite what's the word I'm looking for? Intimate
Oh yeah.
concert. Because Robert
Oh,
Plant's a big artist.
I know, and there's other big artists. Oh, Phil Collins has played there.
Phil Collins, wow.
Yeah, so lots and lots of famous people of that caliber have played in there, and it is very small and intimate. My guess would be that they're hired by the hotel to perform, like maybe during a special event or something.
Mm.
Um, I really didn't get any sort of feeling bad or good from
Mm.
that room. Lucy's room was named Lucy's room because the woman who created the tours there, she was a medium and a ghost hunter. She had all the equipment, and she couldn't get any sound at all to come from that room until she started putting
Mm.
suckers, those dum dums, and then she got either a young woman or a child's voice on her recording saying Lucy, Lucy. This woman is the one who created the ghost tours, so she worked
Mm.
there for quite a while. Um, that's why the suckers were in there, and I didn't even see the suckers because it was so dark. I must have walked just right by him. I didn't see it, but there were people when we came back out. There were people out there standing out there like sucking on dum dums, and I'm like, did they pass out candy? Did Lucy pass out candy to people? Because I didn't get it. They so the Paul's room is also the green room for bands, so it kind of has. It doesn't have like a bad energy. You know what I mean? It's kind of just active and
Mm.
but they said that that when the bands come, a lot of them will say um someone was someone was down here, we need better security, and we heard screaming, and we went
Oh
out
dear.
and we couldn't find anything. They heard we'd quiet down to hear the screaming, and they would hear like bumps um against the walls and um stuff that creeped them out.
I bet he did.
Yeah, I bet. So so we left that room, which is we were under the concert hall. So it's the basement of the concert hall. We left that room, we went into the caves. So we go into the caves, and they call them the tunnels, but they're, in my opinion, they're caves because the walls are like hammered out of the Rocky Mountains.
Right, Shea Rock.
Yeah, so they hammered through there. I mean, imagine this was a long time ago, and they didn't have modern equipment, so they would be out there with hammers and pickaxes and stuff like that. So those are the tunnels, and then the staff would come through those. The kids in the hotel would come through those and play and stuff. Because now there's one theory that this hotel was built to be a hotel, and another theory that it was built to be a family home for the brothers, their wives, their children. And then they would close it down during the winter because it is extraordinarily steep getting up there. And the road is curvy, like S's. So I could, and in those days, they didn't really have, well, they didn't have like four-wheel drive or, even probably even very good like headlights or anything. They were the old cars where you're actually outside of it. So um, uh, they said that he showed us photos of people who have caught pictures of children in there. He told us about a woman who had been in the concert hall. She had taken a picture and it scared her so badly. She was talking tough about being a ghost hunter beforehand, and then it scared her so badly that she ran out of the building, came up to a door that's down there, and was pounding on the window saying, "Let's get the F out of here," to her husband. "Get the F out of here, get the F out of here." And so the tour guy was like, "What happened? What did you see?" And she's like, "I'm not coming in. I'm not coming in. I won't see it." And he said, "You're on a ghost tour and you were surprised by
Yeah.
catching a ghost." So she caught this really wicked looking figure standing behind her in the mirror. And she would not go back on the tour. And we got to see the picture. I took a photo, and one of the women who was standing there, her shadow, the shadow she casts from every angle, looks like a goat standing up with a little tail and like goat like legs. And I'm
Goat
like,
or ghost?
what?
Did you say ghost or ghost?
Goat.
Goat, like
Ah,
one of them goats. Yeah.
yeah. Like remember Zach Bagans? Remember he saw that that him and that guy saw that goat figure?
Oh yeah, now I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like that. I took it from three different angles, and her shadow looks like that goat figure, that demon thing. And I declined telling her that. Uh,
I don't blame you. You
but they're
scared
doing
this.
a, I can imagine. Oh, by the
This out of
way,
a.
your shadow is a demon. I don't know if you know. Um, so they're doing a bunch of construction because um, the Sundance Film Festival is moving down to Boulder. So they're doing a whole bunch of construction. And the hotel is building an extra part of the hotel. They're building a library and a, a haunted um, museum. So he kept saying, I don't know, the activity's been a lot higher lately, and I don't know if that's because of the construction. And does anybody know if the construction might do that? And I didn't answer because, you know, I'm shy. And we got 18 minutes. So then he asked again, does anybody here know if it's possible that the activity is being caused by this, this construction? So I raised my hand and I said, it's called the stone tape theory. Now this guy is supposed to be, he says he believes in the paranormal. He's a paranormal ghost tour guy, right? You can go there and have a 3 hour paranormal experience where they bring in machines and stuff, and you all have headphones and you can listen to the machines and see if you hear any voices and whatnot. And he didn't know what the stone tape theory was. So, and P.S. Rob told me what the stone tape theory was a long time ago.
Yeah. No, my
Um,
face fame.
yes, it's your claim to fame. So I explained what the stone tape theory is, and when I made the video about it, Rob, I couldn't say stone tape theory. Just say right there. It's something that screws with my tongue. Just saved my life. Stone tape theory. Could not say it, so I forgive me for everybody who's watched that video. I do know that I couldn't say it. So I sat there and told them what it was, and then I took questions from everybody in there, and then I took questions from the tour guide who was asking me about, is there any particular kind of substance that they stick to? And I was like, it's really anything, the earth,
Yeah.
concrete, walls. It's just that area. And he said, what about quartz? And I gave them I make jewelry with quartz, and I have worn crystals since I was 20. And so I explained to him that quartz is a protective stone, and it takes in energy. It takes in bad energy to protect it from affecting you. But if there's a situation where there's like a lot of quartz and a lot of bad energy, then it could maybe put it on a loop to release some of it. And
Yeah.
so they all thanked me for taking over the tour. And then he tells us that we're in the caves, the tunnels. Rob is furious with me because I did something that Rob thinks I should know better to do. Isn't that right, Rob?
Yeah, but I'm struggling to remember what it
Oh,
is.
are you?
Hmm.
I took a rock.
Oh no, you shouldn't do that.
I I I took a rock. It was just
No.
loosely sitting there, and I took it. I had it in my hand. I grabbed my husband's hand like I was going to hold his hand, and I pushed the rock against his hand. He was like, "Dude, don't. That's no okay."
This has
And
happened. This happened once before in a place called the Garden of Eden, where something got passed to Adam, and he was like, "I think this is not a very good idea."
yeah, exactly. He's like, I don't know that this is the best idea. But he succumbed as well. Sorry, I had to drink something. So I have had it in my house for 3 weeks since then, and nothing has happened that I know of. But he tells us that there's a lot of activity on the fourth floor, and it's where the seance room is, and the brother's wife. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. I want to call her Sarah, but it's not Sarah. Anyway, she did seances in there. She had famous seance people coming in there, and that was very popular in those times because a lot. I've done um, uh, 31 Days of Halloween about Ouija boards and how popular they were, and in that era, they were extremely popular. Everybody did it, and there was a lot of people who took advantage of that and got rich off of that. That were just faking. So they said that to go and look in there, and then her original Ouija board from that time is on the wall. It's actually kind of on a shelf, and
You didn't
and
say that as well, did you?
I did, Rob. I did. Yeah. Except we couldn't get in the room, but I would have. Uh, so he says you could go on floor 4 and take your pictures, and he told us what rooms are particularly haunted and everything. And of course, there's the Stephen King room where him and his wife spent the night there. And by the time he got done staying at that hotel, he had written or had the basis for The Shining.
Wow.
The long hallways.
Yeah.
He said that they had heard noises in their room, there that they had been touched in their room, and that that it gave him a terrible, terrible feeling. And so he wrote The Shining. And so we and people would steal the room number is 217, and people would kept stealing the plaque that said room 217. So they put it on a piece of wood and then put it on the wall. And I asked the tour guide if does that mean I'm probably not going to be able to steal it? And yeah, he didn't think so. I would have. Um, I'm not a felon. just interested.
You just misheard him. He said you go into some whatever rooms you want and take some pictures.
Yes.
Tracy took that as go into any rooms and take some pictures off the
Yes,
wall.
yes. Right? Doesn't that make sense? Like a souvenir. Um, and then they have this room that's the family, was the room that the nannies slept in and the children of the house. And that room, the number of the room is scratched into a plaque, which
Oh,
I found to be creepy as hell. It's the only room that has that.
oh wow.
So I was down taking pictures of this plaque, which I I couldn't get it. So my camera was mostly not working. I told you I had like 700 photos between me and my husband, and I had to narrow it down to like 20. Um, so I'm down there trying to get it, and I put the plaque on the video, but you can't really see that it's etched and it's scratched. It's
Mm,
creepy. And I can hear a child in the room, but I'm not thinking anything about it. Okay. So I'm back and I'm taking a picture of the name of the door, and this man walks up and he sees my husband, and my husband goes, "Oh, there's a Mariners. You got a Mariners shirt?" And he's like, "Oh, I thought I saw a Seahawks hat." And so they were talking about Washington State sports. While I'm taking photos of this room, the outside of the room, and then he goes, "Well, have a good night." Opens the door and goes in the room. It was his room, him and his family. I'm just a creeper out in the hall, getting like laid low down on my hands and knees to get a picture that's showing up of the name of the room, and I'm like, oh my god. So that was fun. Um, that was embarrassing. I took photos of the stairwells, the main staircase, which was the inspiration for the staircase in The Shining. Took photos of that. It's not as grand as the one in The Shining, but it's very beautiful. And I didn't feel anything particularly bad. It felt a little heavy. It felt heavy. And one of my subscribers, Mark, and I were talking about construction and how construction would have been a nightmare because they didn't have forklifts and man lifts and power tools and stuff. And they probably didn't close down for those 4 months. So they could have been on snow and ice, and there was probable, deaths there too. Also, it used to be Indian hunting grounds and Indian lands, the Utes, the Cheyennes, Cherokee, several, and we know how that tends to go. Stereotypical, and then now they're out digging up the Indian hunting grounds, killing fields. So I thought maybe you could kind of feel that um, that kind of more of like a sadness, a lonely feeling. Um, but I didn't get a good haunted feeling out of it. And I told people in that video that we went to the Skirvin Hotel, which is in Oklahoma City, and the Skirvin Hotel is immediately dark and violent.
mm.
Famous basketball player, can't think of his name, but you guys would all know him. Um, Told staff that he had been sexually assaulted in that room.
Oh, I remember reading about this.
Yeah. And so that there was a woman who had been kept captive by her. Well, he wasn't her husband because he was married, but so she was his mistress. He locked her in a room and she jumped out and committed suicide. And that hotel was insanely scary. Even my husband, to this day, and that was like 6 years ago. To this day, I'll say to my husband, "We should go up to Oklahoma City and do another video on the Skirvin." And he's like, "No, thank you." I won't put another foot in that building. But this did not have that feeling, which is really, really disappointing. I did get a few pictures that were interesting. Um, I took a photo of this wall, and there's a woman was standing in front of it, and it was right in front of the wall where they put the shrine stuff for Paul, and my husband is also taking a photo at the exact same time. So I have several different angles, and in my one of my photos, there's light like streaking across, like lightning streaking across towards this woman. And I showed that my husband was taking a photo from the exact same angle as me, and we took a multiple because we were like click click click, and I was like, because can I get my phone to work? Um, and so that was interesting to me that it came from that particular place. So maybe he is there, and so yeah, that was that.
Mm.
It was interesting. It's beautiful. I mean, it's stunning. Um, but I didn't. I was disappointed.
Well, that maybe because it has been a family home, and um, there hasn't been, other than the film The Shining,
Mhm.
um, which sort of paints the hotel as this haunted, scary place.
Right.
In actual real life, it isn't necessarily that. So maybe your expectations because of the film more made it as though it would have been more scary than it actually was. And when you actually got there, because you are really good at picking up on,
Yes.
you're really empathetic. So maybe you were feeling that love and that um, family homeness that maybe you were a bit misinformed from
Yeah.
the
Maybe it's
media.
because I had the really high expectations, and I
Yeah,
would feel something. I would feel it if it was there.
definitely.
But I saw those photos that people took too, and he showed one to this guy who works for uh, Kodak, and he said he couldn't explain what it was, and there was these two legs walking up a set of stairs, and the guy from Kodak said he couldn't explain what it was. It wasn't light. It wasn't anything that the camera had done. So maybe I just was there on a great day. Although it did not want us to take whatever is in there, did not want us to take pictures. We have 5 minutes left.
But we have.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said he something to do with the Stanley also.
No, no. We have 5 minutes left. So that was my Stanley Hotel story. We're going to be we're going to try to move to Colorado, but in the meantime, because I still got 9 months on a lease. So in the meantime, we're going to visit, and then I'll be able to do some more haunted hotels around there, and haunted buildings and whatnot. And
Mm,
I'm really excited about that because a lot of stuff has happened there.
yeah, sounds really interesting. I wish I could have gone with you.
I know. I did put you on FaceTime as I walked into the Denver airport, otherwise known as the airport of disappointment. Although I did get really good ghost stories from one of the volunteers. She was just
Yeah.
going on and on and on about the ghost stories, which I was all ears.
Mm,
Just tell me more. Tell me more. She loved
definitely
it
I
that I was
would
going
have
to do a
been.
video about it, so she was like, "Yeah, here you go. Here's a scoop."
Mm,
So that was fun. I also want to say that I haven't. My last video from Colorado will be coming out pretty soon, and I really, really hope that you will take the time to listen to this video. And I'm going to talk about my feelings after the after the initial um, video, this initial story, and um, I'll let you, when I it's a very deep and dark situation. So
mm,
I really, but it's very, very important to me. This is super important to me. So I hope that you guys will tune into that, and that should be coming out in the near future. And Rob knows where I was, but I haven't told my daughter. I haven't told anybody else. So my husband, but my son. Okay, my family knows, but that's and Rob, which is family, and that's it. So, because I didn't really want to pump it up as like, well, you'll see, but I hope that everybody tunes in and appreciates what it's about. And it's one of the worst crimes that's ever happened in the United States.
Well, that obviously, yeah, that is going to be maybe very difficult, maybe difficult to listen to as well.
Yes,
But,
yes, I think
yeah,
probably so.
but I was just thinking of people in the comments. Where do they suggest to go to? What haunted places would they suggest in the States that would be good for Tracy to go and visit? Be interesting to see in the comments what people have got to say.
Yeah, like road trip distance, though, people. Give me road
Yeah,
trip
yeah,
distance.
yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah,
So that
American.
would be Oklahoma, New Mexico, uh, um, Louisiana, Mississippi, uh, even Florida is not that. It's not a 16-hour drive, I can tell you that.
Hmm.
And yeah, so let me know from Texas what would be I mean, I could have driven 16 hours and still been in Texas, so it's a good thing I'm up towards the top. But um, yeah, please do leave comments and let me know if you live around those areas and what I could see. And I might be going to San Francisco maybe in June. And if so, you guys can give me some ideas in San Francisco. I've been there before, but I was 14, 15 years old. So if you know of any particularly haunted places, we did go to Alcatraz. You can let me know. And we have less than 1 minute left, Rob.
Right. It flew by that.
Yeah, it did.
Gosh, absolutely flew by.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the guys have enjoyed listening to your story. And yeah, really, really pleased to be back.
I am too. So thank you, everyone. And please leave some comments and thumbs up and likes and share. I gotta go.
I've got to go too. So
Okay.
take care, everyone. God bless. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.